In 1958, during the height of the Cold War, tension between the United States and the Soviet Union was so extreme that a single mistake could have meant the end of the world. And that possibility, unbelievably, almost happened one February night, completely by accident. It was February 5, 1958. A U.S. Air Force B-47 bomber took off from Homestead Air Force Base in Florida for what was supposed to be a simple training mission. On board, however, was something that should never have been there. A Mark 15 nuclear bomb weighing over 7,600 pounds with a destructive power more than 100 times that of Hiroshima. At the same time, another plane, an F-86 fighter jet, was conducting exercises over the coast of Georgia. Both planes were flying at night with limited visibility. At exactly 2 a.m., the unthinkable happened. The radar failed. The B-47 and the F-86 collided mid-air. The fighter jet was completely destroyed. The bomber barely managed to stay airborne. One of its engines was gone, and the crew was fighting to keep control. Inside, the pilot, Major Howard Richardson, knew one horrifying truth. If he tried to land with that nuclear bomb still on board, the impact could trigger a nuclear explosion that would wipe out the entire eastern coast of Georgia. With only seconds to decide, Richardson radioed command for permission to jettison the bomb. They approved. And so, at 2:50 a.m., the Mark 15 nuclear bomb was dropped into the waters off Tybee Island, just miles from the Georgia shoreline. Miraculously, the B-47 managed to land safely. But when the U.S. military sent recovery teams to retrieve the bomb, it was gone. Over the next several months, divers, ships, sonar teams, and scientists scoured the area. They searched day and night. But the bomb simply vanished. Officially, the U.S. government announced that the weapon posed no danger, claiming it lacked the plutonium core necessary for a full nuclear detonation. However, years later, declassified documents suggested that might not have been true. Reports indicated the bomb still contained uranium and tritium, materials that could cause serious radioactive contamination if the casing were to corrode underwater. Decades passed. In 2004, a group of civilian divers exploring near Tybee Island detected unusually high radiation levels. When the U.S. authorities found out, they quickly closed off the area, insisting there was no threat, but never confirming whether the bomb had actually been found. Local residents tell stories that, during low tide, a strange bluish glow can sometimes be seen in the water. Scientists studying the area have even documented minor mutations in some marine life near the site. The media nicknamed it the Lost Bomb of Tybee, and to this day, it remains missing. A nuclear weapon buried somewhere beneath tons of sand and mud, lying silently near a popular beach town. Official U.S. Air Force records acknowledge at least 6 nuclear bombs lost in accidents between 1950 and 1968, none of which were ever fully recovered. But the Tybee bomb is the most famous because it's still out there, right next to a community that lives unknowingly above a sleeping atomic weapon. In classified files, the case remains open. Its title, Case 858A, Tybee Bomb. A reminder of how close the world once came to total destruction. Not through war, but through a simple human error. In the end, the story of the lost bomb is a warning. Proof that sometimes the greatest dangers aren't in the enemies we fight, but in the mistakes we try to forget.